There's a bunch of times in the box office where people put in billions of dollars into making a movie and they just flop automatically. And of course, the other times where people put in barely $1 million and they just do so well in the box office. This is a time where it's the best part of both of them, and I'm going to show you the best movie I've ever watched in my entire life. I'm not going to tell you the name of it yet. I just want to read out what the movie's description of it is, and I want you to tell me if you watch it. After losing his parents, a priest travels to China, where he inherits a mysterious ability that allows him to turn into a dinosaur. Let me repeat that. After losing his parents, a priest travels to China, where he inherits a mysterious ability that allows him to turn into a dinosaur. Let me continue. Although he is horrified by the new power, a sex worker convinces him to use it to fight crime. Now, if that isn't your kind of movie, I don't know what is. And after watching it, I knew it was the best movie ever made. Like, you can easily tell. The movie amazed me in so many ways that I can't even describe. And it wasn't until I went through the reviews of the movie that I realized just how golden this movie really is. I'm gonna be completely honest, this movie came out in 2017, so I'm gonna spoil every little bit about it because it's that good, and the fight cinematography is just amazing. Now, before I do that, let's go through some reviews. Now, this is the top 5-star review that has been the most frequently viewed. I'm gonna read it word for word here. This film is the best thing I've ever witnessed. The special effects were so real that for a moment, I was convinced that the directors had revived an actual Velocipastor just to film this movie. The props were so well made that I screamed at the end, unable to tell that the head in Doug's hands were not actually a man's head. But really, the best thing that this film did was give me a reason to stay alive. While I was young, I was diagnosed with chronic depression. It was brutal, and life became a dull, gray blur. I'm so sorry for laughing at this, okay? I had no reason to exist in this world. I had no purpose. It hurt to wake up in the morning, to breathe, to live. Everything hurt. Until I watched the Velocipastor. The Velocipastor. I have reason to live now, and that reason is the Velocipastor. I have never been more moved by such a film. 30 minutes in, and I was crying on the floor. All the pain that was built up above the year was leaving me in the instant, simply because of how realistic the characters were written. My depression had been cured. It keeps going on from there, but it's so many paragraphs long that I don't want to read it all. But anyways, this is the best movie they've ever seen. That's all I gotta know. Alright, this next comment I absolutely loved because I love this actor. They're referring to this movie compared to Leonardo DiCaprio movies. And everyone knows Leonardo DiCaprio is one of the best actors out there. So, let's read it. It's the best thing I've ever witnessed. Nope. An incredible work of an art that rivals that work of Leonardo da Vinci. Oh, frick. Okay, never mind. They're talking about Da Vinci. I thought they were talking about DiCaprio. We're gonna skip over that. Velocipastor. A family favorite for sure. One of the most quality films to ever grace the screen. Father Stewart's backstory was heart-wrenching to say the least. And Sam's big twist at the end gave me such a shock me heart could hardly handle it. Why did they write this like Mr. Krabs was writing this? Gave me such a shock me heart could hardly believe it. I cannot read this for the life of me. Try this again, shall we? Like I was saying, why was this written like Mr. Krabs wrote this? The end gave me... Oh, okay, that's why, okay. They spelled it wrong, okay? Suck a shock. They meant such a shock, okay? So it's not my fault that I cannot read for the life of me. Also, the lighting of my phone is so low. What happens if I just... Oh! Oh, man, yeah, that worked. Now you guys can see the phone screen literally lit on my face. Nice. The gore is so authentic. I sometimes wake up in a cold sweat, but it's worth every minute. The ninja hooker Dr. Lawyer Carl is a true beauty and makes a great love interest for our main man Doug Jones. So much can be said about this glorious creation, but much like the rule from the Matrix, it can't be explained better with words than if you just watched it yourself. Truly, this masterpiece is a shining example for all aspiring filmmakers, and I implore all the good people of the world to experience it for themselves. 96 people thought that comment was helpful, and I agree. I was one of the 96. Seeing the 5-star reviews, let's head over to the 1-star reviews because I think they're even more hilarious. First comment here from Kermit the Frog. Okay. Let's see if I can read this without dying. Okay. Me, my wife, Miss Piggy, and my nephew Robin went to see this movie, and I'm in utter outrage. The CGI detail, everything was so realistic. This is the most goriest, most brutal movie ever. Me and Miss Piggy have to lie under the sheets every night and pray to every god that the Velocipastor doesn't come and devour us all. I told the other Muppets of my toils, and now Fuzzy Bear no longer smiles. Gonzo doesn't make any more jokes. Depression has taken over us all. Yesterday I heard the Velocipastor come knocking. He was hammering on the window of my house. I was a goner for sure. Luckily it wasn't him, but in the end it was just some violent drunk. But still, imagine if it was. What would I have done, huh? Shame on the creators, shame. And so I regret to announce that the Muppet Show is cancelled. We're rebranding to Velocipastor Hunters, where me and the rest of the Muppets give tips on how to defend against this creature. We will also pray to Satan in the hopes that he will protest us when God has forsaken us by letting this abomination walk the earth. Anyways, remember to tune in at 9 p.m. every Friday for Velocipastor Hunters. Coming out. That's how you write a review, alright? I went through 7 stages there reading that review. I don't know what I'm doing with my hand there, but yeah. Also, I think I'm like one of the only human beings left on Earth that actually likes the Croys. I swear everyone hates them, but they're really good. I don't understand why people don't. To be honest, I feel terribly sorry for anyone reading the reviews to see if it's a good movie, because it mostly definitely isn't. Oh no, we got a Karen. All the phony 5-star reviews you're being bombarded with when you open the reviews up are probably all fake. Probably from cast/crew. You're writing a review, a bad review, on the best movie that's ever been made. Like, I understand Kermit's comment, right? Him and Miss Piggy, you know, his nephew Robin, the whole cast and crew, they're a little scared. So yeah, he wrote a 1-star review because it was so realistic. He is living every day in fear. But now you're writing your review saying that Kermit the Frog shouldn't be afraid. It's a phony review. Wow, just disrespect. One person found that helpful. That one person was her. I'm just saying. Going through everyone's responses on this movie, I have to say that I agree with most of them. It terrified me. I still have nightmares, even though I watched this movie months ago. I will watch it again with my family once I trick them into thinking it was a new Adam Sandler produced movie, and I will watch it again with them. The movie was great, probably the best thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Don't know what people are talking about. It's beautifully made. I specifically want to read one last review because this review perfectly describes everything I just read and went through in this video, so here it is. One of the people in this is literally named Karen, so you know it's true. Richard says, I was in charge of picking a movie for family movie night. Put this on for Karen and the kids, and next thing you know, the woman's screaming at the top of her lungs. I just wanted to show her my favorite movie of all time. She was shaming it in front of me and my darling children. I no longer have custody over my little boy and girl and blame it all on this movie. The Velocipastor is a disgrace to humanity. Please, Karen, come back. I can't pay rent. 43 more people than the other comment found this helpful. 44 people. Karen, if you're watching this, the Velocipastor will find you. You can't escape the Velocipastor. Now, what exactly is my thoughts on this amazingly produced movie? I think it's an amazingly produced movie and it deserves 7 stars out of 5. First off, I just want to say you can watch this movie complete free on YouTube, and I think that's amazing. Second of all, have you seen the last fight scene? Watch it. I'm going to show it to you now, but watch it. Velocipastor, the man who can turn into a dinosaur, versus 5 ninjas. 5 ninjas. How is a dinosaur going to take on 5 ninjas, huh? Huh, Karen? 5 ninjas. Give this man some space. Can you take on 5 ninjas? No. No, you can't. So why are you thinking a man who can turn into a dinosaur can take on 5 ninjas? He just learned about his powers. I should think it's been like 2 months, but still, he's still learning them. Watching through this right now, he just bit off someone's hand. Someone's hand just got ripped off. Special effects are bad. Was that special effects? No. These people went to Jurassic Park, took a dinosaur, watched the news, saw Jurassic Park fall and crumble to the death of themselves, and used it for a movie. Either that, or this man could really turn himself into a dinosaur. Either way, there's a dinosaur there on set. So we watch slowly as each man individually gets ripped apart, limb by limb. And here we see the ninjas like kick and throw punches, but miss by 5 feet each time. Like one ninja just completely does an overhead kick and falls. I mean, if I was attacking a dinosaur, I'd fall too, so I'm just saying. So I do want to point out that these ninjas have been training throughout the entire movie. Every scene, you can every scene at this whole base or headquarters, you can see the ninjas training in the background. But it's usually like 2 or 3 ninjas that train. Yeah, just saying. Each ninja here being just thrown or flung. Even though they're not even making physical contact with him, that's just how strong he is. And here you see heads being ripped off, hands being ripped off. That tail is doing a whole bunch of damage. Oh, okay. Let's talk about right here. This is a minute and 4 seconds into the whole fight scene here. A ninja jumps on the man's head and just flips him over to the ground. Like, if we watch that in slow motion there, he jumps on his head, kind of like rolls off, but the dinosaur falls down. That wasn't special effects. That man literally tackled a dinosaur to the ground. So all you saying that a dinosaur could easily take on 5 ninjas, that ninja had the power to knock him to the ground. What are you saying here? We're done with the final scene. Let's look at the opening scene. So the pastor's finishing up his day, preaching, walks outside. His parents get blown up. And the most beautifully CGI effects cut explosion I've ever seen in my entire life. Actually, I haven't bought this up yet, but I have a light. This is my light source right here. It looks like I'm at a campfire and I'm just telling a story about Davy Jones, the locker. Actually, this could be a really cool thumbnail, but no. Anyways, like I was saying, the opening scene really shows the devastating and character change personality this man has to go through after watching his parents die in front of him. Wow. After watching his parents die, his pastor says to him, go to a place where you can find comfort. So my man walks to China. You're telling me if you saw your parents die in a CGI explosion, you wouldn't walk to China? Wow. Actually, I don't know if I'm even going to post this video, but I made a video about like making money and everything and how you have to be the first to do something. He was the first one to walk to China and he gets the powers of a dinosaur, so all the character development was absolutely amazing. I think the overall character traits and personality were great. 10 out of 10 movie. Amazing. Beautifully plotted, beautifully described, beautifully CGI'd. Amazing. Interruption. Remember, there's a subscribe button. You should hit it. It subscribes you so you can get videos like me, with me in it. So see my videos and my views. Yeah. Just hit the button, alright?